Good morning, everybody. This is Jack Gleason with the Major League Trading Morning Power Hour. It is 8:29 Central Standard Time, January 31st, 2019, last trading day of the month here, guys. So we've just traded some second tests here in the S&P, the Russell, the Dow, the Nasdaq has gotten below its overnight low right before the open here, so there's a little bit of weakness going into the open. We've been selling since the last hour, basically, or 2 hours. We've been, we made that overnight high, so holding these levels is really important for the bulls, and then we'll hopefully continue to make our way up towards our higher time frame profit targets. I have a couple of swing positions on in the Nasdaq and Dow that I'm just looking to hold throughout the rest of the day up until the profit target levels. Possibly looking for a new position in oil if it sets up how I anticipate it to. But all of the markets here are in bullish sequences. We have a mixed bag. Nasdaq's down Nasdaq's up a quarter percentage point off the open. Dow's down 0.4%, Russell 0.14, S&P 0.08. So one market higher, three lower off the open. We'll see, if there's really any resistance that they got. There's not a lot. Remove the extended session here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off, and then I think it'll be a little easier to just see the tape. The extended session here is not very important for me right now as far as my price action. Let's go, Ken. Make it happen, baby. Oh, is it? I never pasted it. I am live, but I never gave the link. So anybody in here? All right, now you guys should be able to hear me. Oil busting up higher. Still seeing some weakness in this Dow. Just want to look at a couple of these stocks. Microsoft's bid. Facebook's chilling. Apple's getting sold. We opened right on that 50% retracement in, I don't like really when we open right on a level. We open above it and trade into it, that's one thing, but the support level I would have below would be 24,778 here in the Dow. We'll see how we end up here in the first 15-minute candle. The selling pressure from the overnight session. Thanks, guys. Dow is the weakest market. Dow is definitely on the weaker side of things right now. I'd watch this 24,781 is the halfway back traditional from the swing low on Tuesday. So if there's anything that's just going to be like a quick pierce break and then a rip, otherwise you want to see it get back above this 50%. But as far as markets, acting well, Russell and S&P are acting for longs better right now than the Nasdaq and the Dow, at least from like a technical perspective. I'd like to see us trade and hold. I would say out of all of these setups here, the support level I'm really looking to wait for is in the Nasdaq. At least this moved to 68.26. We broke below that 61.8 line in the overnight session. They said if we broke, we'd get down there, so that's what I'd be looking for. Look at that move, new high there in oil. You can see the way, so the reason I said the S&P and the Russell are acting the best, look at the boxes that I had drawn up in here, right? At 38% retracements are bid the most accurately. 85.2 is that level there in the Russell. We're trading 88.5. So, quick 3-point move plus. We got 26.77s in the S&P. We're going to be trading 26.80s, so 3-point move. And then there's a 61 stick right now in the Dow. And then the Nasdaq just hasn't traded anything. Just really choppy so far. I'm looking at 68.26 in the Nasdaq wolf spec, and then 68.09 in the two levels. I'm looking at the Russell here is acting the best. What we'd want to see, so for me, I like to see the Russell kind of get above this 1292 level, and then look for a potential entry in a long sequence. We're still below where we had gapped down from in the S&P. Let me get rid of the extended session here in the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq actually with the extended session turned off is still acting really well. The Dow is the lagger. The Dow is the... So the Dow here, I'd look for maybe a divergence where the Dow makes a new low down to 24,780 level. We pierced this 61.8. You could still end up, you know, continuing higher, but I'm looking at that 24,780 level. Nasdaq's just cruising. No worries. All right, you see like here in the S&P, we have, you know, swing high, swing high, swing high. This is the MLT trademark codes. And then you get a new swing high, right? And then you get a halfway back from that low. That's how you get into those smaller moves. If you didn't want to take 77s, new swing high, and then boom. I always like to use, you know, 2 or 3 point stop with a 2 or 3 point first target, and then just continue to trail it up, being a little more aggressive. The Dow wants to trade this level, this 24,780. There's the takeoff. Getting up towards that prior high. That's the you know, like, especially if you're trading futures, that's how these MLT indicators, like, I love it. You've really got to pay attention to these smaller time frame swing marks. You know, and if you don't have them, you can just watch them on my screen. But, you know, watch when we take out a swing high. This is a really easy way to be patient. Really easy way to be patient. Oil making another new high here. Coming up to 55. Gas getting expensive again. Gap filled in the S&P, gap filled in the Russell, gap up in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, if you get rid of the extended session, is going to have an extension to extension here from the prior day high. It's going to develop a separate sequence. New high through the prior high in the Russell. That's the first market to get through its high. Oil's going to be hitting its 55.49 profit target. Gold's coming really close to its entry extension on its 38% retracement is 1327.2. Super Bear, Super Bowl. Silver and copper, the beast right now. Silver is like, not only is gold rallying, actually silver is super strong here. I need to start paying more attention to silver. Taking it off my watch list, but I mean, with the way gold is acting, silver is the same. It's been a great move. Extremely technical. Peaking up, another high of the day here in the ES. But yeah, the metals, guys, the metals are in some really aggressive trends to the long side. Copper, silver, gold. Ticker symbols are HG for copper, and silver is SI. Take a look at those though. All right, now we're starting to get back above this 50% retracement here. We did just pierce that 61 in the Dow, but now that we're back above 24,853, really watch this level, guy, because this extension does have an upside profit target that lines up much higher. And you can see the rest of these markets are super aggressive out of those lows. Once we came out this morning, I was talking about the Russell. Guys, 1485, we've rallied 10 points here in the Russell. It's 2677, 10 points in the S&P. Both of those were levels from this morning's trade plan, and you know they're paying for whoever took them. We just traded that gold level here, 1327. Really technical moves here so far this morning. Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of these markets, or tell me what you're taking. Another new high here in the Russell, guys. We're going to be going up and completing profit targets here in the Russell, up at 1496. Gold is bounced like 6 ticks, nothing too crazy so far. I'm never sure when to move my target or let it hit and take my profit. Candy, you want to give me an example of a trade you're in? So what I like to do, so every trade, you have to realize the kind of the structure of the market, and that's really tape reading. Have we been completing targets, and then is there volatility expansion? Every single morning we go over the ranges and the indexes, but for example, if you look at Monday, super tight range, and then you had volatility expansion on Tuesday with the big move down, and then there was a halfway back short that got sold into. The thing is, like yesterday, there was news events that were on deck, and there's news events all week long. You really have to pay attention to the speed at which the market's moving. If the bars are small and tight and in a range, you probably shouldn't be looking for negative 23% profit targets. But when you start seeing the bars expand in size and we're really not trading in a range, that's when you can begin looking for profit targets. Nice trade, John. Nice, got your 6 points. So I see you. Okay, so I just saw your other comment. You went long 26.77, and 6 points is fine there. The thing to pay attention to, and like I was just talking about before, look at like Tuesday. Okay, like Tuesday is very choppy, but yesterday we broke above the most recent highs. We held a technical extension. You had FOMC, you had Facebook earnings, Microsoft earnings. Those, I don't care what those earnings do, but there's a lot of traders in a lot of institutions who will look at that and say, okay, here's some information today that we didn't have yesterday, so I can put my $100 million to work. So you just have to kind of be aware of the market sentiment. What are the larger traders looking for? And that's why we always, even though we don't trade the news, I'm not speculating on the outcome of news. I'm technically trading, and sometimes this test, you can begin trailing. Like if we hit that 6 points, so say you bought 77s here, okay? You bought 77, 6 points, you're looking at the 83s, okay? And which is a good move. That's 83s, that's resistance, right? But when we get to 83s, say we get to 83s and you're like, you know what, that's a pretty strong move. From 944, the last test, to 952, we basically got to 83. So that's, 6 points in under 10 minutes. That tells you, hey, the speed here is picking up. The speed here is picking up. So if you're picking up speed into your profit targets, then maybe just lift it up from 83s to call it 87s. Just bring it up 4 more points and then watch the market kind of develop. Now, the prior swing high, like if we cleared 2682s here to get up to those 83s, or sorry, 2681s to get up to those 83s, are we staying above those 81s? If we are, okay, continue to trail. And then you can just, you can begin looking, and then you'll kind of see this is the speed. When things are chopping around like this, like they were yesterday, it was like 77s traded, right? We only got to move to 82.75. You wouldn't have even gotten 83s or 6 points there until the end of the day. We did not get above the prior swing high. So that'll tell me, and then I'll be like, well, you know what? I couldn't get 6 points there. Maybe I should settle for 3 or 4. And then we come down and it's just like it was choppy the rest of the day because nobody was putting on any new big positions before Microsoft and Facebook earnings, unless they get leaked, right? Your earnings come out, then you get the pop. So just always be aware of what are the events? There's only a couple of, like, really, outside of earnings season, normally you really only have a couple of events a month that are like really where you can anticipate them because we know the day they're coming out, like non-farm payroll, FOMC events, Jerome Powell speeches, PMI numbers. That's how you always want to be aware of. And it took me a long time to realize that personally, that how impactful those news events can be, because there is institutions who are running strategies on that, and those are the guys with the money who are moving the market. You and I, we don't move the market. We follow the people that move the market. And there's the Russell completing the full 50% retracement that traded on Monday. There's that 1496 profit target. I am looking to get out of the NASDAQ trade I have at 69.26. It is 9:20 here. We are completing a negative 61.8% profit target here in the NASDAQ. Gold, this point, we've had a full 1.5 point bounce in gold. Like I said here, look at the Dow, right? We trade it right at the open, we get below, we get back to it. Treat that level again as a 50% retracement. You got all of these markets heading higher. Okay, the Dow was a little weak here today because of Microsoft earnings, but that 24,853, that's still a level. You got a 30, 40 point move off of that already in just a few minutes. Exactly. Kenny, and that's like it takes a little longer to kind of see. Like, I've been looking at the market and the S&P for 10 years, or actually I think that's like 11 now, but it's as you spend more time, it's easier to kind of see when the speed at which we're moving. You should be moving your profit targets, but when we're slow and you're not, the harder things to do. There you go, Parker. Nice clean move in the ES. That extension target here is at 26.97. The negative 61 is at 27.10. Off Amazon hits a good earnings, we're going to hit up the 27.12s. Yeah, I mean, we absolutely, that was such a capitulation bottom. Let me just go ahead and, yes, we haven't talked about it in a while, but like we should really be looking at, I mean, if that's a swing bottom, where did it come from? The Ebola lows. So there was this extension from the high of 2015 to high that technically broke. And then really what I have here, there is the best thing I could really line it up with, the full halfway back from basically the Trump presidency low. I think too high. And this full halfway back from the lows of 2016 high, we're about to break the opposing 61. That upside target is 32.15, guys. Everybody thinks 2008's coming again. I don't. We could literally, the targets from here, and it doesn't even seem that big, it's like another 600 points. This is going to be the, you know, once we get up to like 2,800, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time, but it's been week after week after week, just green. What information are you looking for? All right, guys, it's 9:30 here. If you have any more questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll keep my comments to the chat room and catch you guys in tonight's video. This move right here, Greg. That was so fast, though. You had like what? See, it took 20 days to drop 10%, and then we rallied back to those highs in 14 days, or there was, let's see, 20 trading days, and then we retraced it all in 14. On that low in 2014, that was a huge move. We're going to be making our way up to the 2712 profit targets, guys, before we see any major resistance in the S&P. If you guys have any more questions for me, once again, let me know. Otherwise, keep my comments to the room. I'm holding long, currently long Dow and Nasdaq, just looking for these swing targets. Going to be exiting 69.26 here in the NQ. Everybody take care and have a great day.